Good morning, everybody. I'm trying to get myself on the screen here. There we go. Hi, I'm here. You're here. We're all here. Let's all enjoy the show. So, how are y'all doing this morning? It's Woke Wednesday. At least that's what I used to call it. And I'm doing a little experiment on some of my social media sites. So if you follow me on social media, I'm trying to see if I can get people to retweet this show once in a while, okay? Now, a lot of you do it already. If you follow me on Twitter at PDawgKnight, or at Minds, or Gab, or Parler, or Getter, or CloudHub at PDawgKnight, same place. I posted today's show with a message. If you see this, retweet it, repost it, whatever you are doing. So I just want to see if we can just get people to do that, because a lot of times I post the show and people hit the like, but don't hit the retweet. And that's what I need help with. That would be immensely helpful if you can do that. So if you're following me on one of those places, please go and do that. That would be great. And I want to see if people who see it actually retweet it. Again, it's an experiment. We'll see what happens. I see a couple people have already done that on Twitter. Thank you, Jack Cochran. Thank you, Will Sinner. And that's a new name. I didn't even know who that was. Interesting. Is that Will It Forge? Changed name or something? I don't know. Anyway, so if you can do that, that'd be fantastic. Welcome to the show. It's, again, Woke Wednesday. And we'll get into the show. I got a whole bunch of tabs open today. Holy smokes. We'll get into that right after the intro. Johnny, do your thing, please. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. It's time to stop that music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It is Wednesday, Woke Wednesday, the 22nd of September, 2021. And you know what I saw? So it's 2021, 2026. We're a few short years away. I don't even know what you call it with 250 years. I don't know what you call it, but we're coming up on 250 years of the Declaration of Independence. And I don't know what made me think of that this morning, actually. It just happened to pop into my mind. And I think I saw an article on something. What is that about? That's so weird, that thing behind me. I got to off-center that. I don't know why that's doing that. I used to have that off-center. Let me change this a little bit. Oh, I see what happened. You know what? Watch this. Give me a second. I don't like looking like having that halo effect, so I really want to make that more offset. There we go. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the news. I was going to talk about Joy Reid this morning, but everyone's talking about Joy Reid, and I think she's stupid. Regarding that girl who got found, or by the way, they've officially declared that girl's remains her remains. So, I don't know what to say about that other than Joy Reid talking about, they never talk about, women of color who do this. Well, Joy Reid, you have a show on a major network, and if you want to highlight women of color who are missing, please do. I think it's more due to the unusual nature of the event. The girl's, this rising social media star ends up missing, and it's unusual. And I know that sometimes, like it was John Benet Ramsey. Well, let's see, this little princess girl, and was missing. And then, it's as though, let me give you an example of why I think it's stupid. We spent the last 7 or 8 years highlighting unarmed black people being shot by police. Are they the only unarmed people shot by police? No, there's all kinds of white people Shabba Please. We don't talk about those either. For whatever reason, the news gets on a kick of who they're going to highlight and who's missing, who's this and that. I think we should have a highlight of children ended in the hood. I think we should highlight that, but they don't do that either. There's a whole lot of things that news can highlight, and I don't know why they highlight what they do, but I don't care. I don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care about the people. I want people to be found and whatnot, but I don't really care, why they do what they do. It just is what it is. So anyway, I that's a tangent I didn't really think out that well, but you're here and I'm here and we'll just talk about it. So, all right, let's do this. I'm going to say good morning to the few of you who are here. It seems like people are coming in kind of slow today, probably because I'm always late, and I apologize for that. I got home a little late and I had to eat breakfast because I'm so hungry. And so I made it and you made it. And so let's say hello to those who made it. Okay. First in the chat today is Zombie Teddy. Yay! Welcome to the show. You get the bell. Thank you for being here. And so quick on the draw as soon as the notification got to you. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations today, and I kind of need it. I'm a little tired today. Didn't sleep well last night. Anyway, also good morning to Keenan. Nice to see you. Good morning, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, good morning, Mike Savage. Blarg. Good morning, James Barber. How did I manage to be early? Well, I don't know. Thanks for doing it, though. Also, good morning to I said Zombie Teddy because Zombie Teddy's here first. Good morning, Nobody Not Me. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Someone is enjoying the music, apparently. Also, good morning to... good morning, Renee Mayette. What's up, Buffalo Soldiers? Yes, I had the reggae whatever music going. Also, good morning to Aaron Meredith. Let's see. Why are you so angry? No, I'm not asking Aaron Meredith why are you so angry. I'm saying why are you so angry is in the house. Just finished listening to Cotton Eye Joe confess the crimes of the UN. Seemed nobody else heard the... I'm not sure. Joy is the other mad cow. Do we really need a judge to tell us that? No. Happy Wednesday. There you go. Good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Nice to see you. Good morning, Will Sinner. Because missing pretty white girls get clicks. It's not the outlet's fault as much as the audience. Well, that's true too. I think little girls are more likely to get clicks than if a boy's missing because they don't care about boys. They only care about girls, even though boys are just as important in the world. Oh, don't tell the feminists I told you that. Anyway, good morning. Oh my gosh, CNN Sucks is here. Hello, nice to have you back. Also, good morning, Special Can Acid, Can and Hotep. Salute to you too, sir. And Jonas Pedersen. Just released my video on the Haitian border situation. Oh, we might just have to watch it on this channel, even though I would rather have everyone here go follow it. Actually, let's do this. I got to see this because they're whipping people down in the border. In fact, that is my first topic today because yesterday I asked the question. Well, it is a very important question, okay? How is it that we have some 11,000 or 12,000, whatever the number is? Why do we have thousands and thousands of Haitian migrants walking across our border? That's not a question I'm hearing a whole lot. How is it that Haitian migrants are walking across our border? Because they would have to walk. They'd have to all be Jesus. They would have to every single one of them would have to be Jesus to be able to walk across the water to Mexico, then the United States. I just don't get it. I'm just telling you. Thank you, Baby Vaso. First donation of the day. And Baby Vaso,
you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Thank you so much for the first donation. A very symmetrical donation of the 333 via Streamlabs, who says, first it's the Larry Elder thing, then it's Herschel Walker, then Nicki Minaj, then the Gabby incident, and now it's the whipping of Haitians. I see my skin and I wonder if I'm really black. I can't relate to these people? What am I? Well, I think it's just you have a brain, and your brain says there's a lot of distractions going on. Because for whatever reason, we're not talking about Afghanistan, because that's kind of the problem right now, right? We sure got off that topic. In fact, yesterday, if you listened to Joe Biden talk in front of the UN, you would think that problem is 100% solved, and we just moving on. We just moving on down the road. Let's see. Well, you know what? Let's do this. I want to pull up Canon Hotep's channel here, because we might just have to watch this on my show. Don't give me a copyright strike for this. And in fact, I highly encourage you to subscribe to Canon Hotep. Oh, it's a short and sweet one. Well, let's watch Canon Hotep. But first, let me say good morning to, who did I just say? I saw Rotten Corpse in the house. Nice to see you. Also, Jonas Pedersen, who I already said, Jonathan Peterson. Jonas Pedersen's here. Renovasio, nice to see you. All right, let's go ahead and watch Canon Hotep's take on. Let's go ahead and watch Canon Hotep's take on the Haitian situation. And that's what we're going to talk about first. Again, Baby Vaso, thank you for sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that by, you can do SuperChats, you can do Streamlabs if you don't want to give 30% to Susan. And then there's a couple other options down in the description down below if you want to try do other options. But let's check out Canon Hotep's take on the Haitian situation. This is a quick one. Play. There we go.
Hey, yo, it's the rodeo at the Rio Grande.
Ain't that true?
Oh, man. So is it me or is Border Patrol out here whooping and wrangling niggas trying to cross the border? So for those of you who ain't seen these, there's some pictures that surfaced that what appears to be Border Patrol agents on horseback, either A, lassoing, or B, whooping and wrangling Haitians coming across the border. Now, I know. Later reports said that it was the reins from the horses and not whips and lassos. I got you. But you gotta admit, these pictures look crazy as hell. And if old Donnie T was in office, we know what they would be.
Yeah, we know exactly what they be saying.
Notice how silent the mainstream media been on it? You waited all this time, and you get the ideal pictures to demonize Border Patrol, but the wrong nigga in office.
Wait, hold up. Let me pause just for a second. And I gotta ask you something here. So if you can see on your screen this picture, okay, obviously the guy on the horse is trying to stop this guy with doing something. What the hell is this man carrying? I never noticed this in the picture till just now. I never noticed in the picture. He's got, those like Whopper box styrofoam things that you carry, you just got a fresh meal out of the, like mama gave you a plate to take home. She bought a bunch of Whopper boxes and gave you a plate to take home from the cookout. or he just came from the barbecue place and got some food, and he's got a bag full of Whopper boxes. Like he just came from the barbecue joint on the corner. What is this dude carrying? And so I'm like, who gave him this food? Yes, I know it's food, but who gave it to him? I'm trying to figure out, they got a food truck out there somewhere on the border waiting for the Haitians to come in? I'm just saying, yeah, Panda Express, bag of styrofoam full of meals. I'm just cracking up. Hello, by the way, Tex AG and Dave, I already said James Barber, and Baby Vaso, of course, who sponsors the show this morning. I'm just tripping. Brother just came from the food truck, and the guy's on his horse, and he just wanted to get a meal. He came across to get to they had a little taqueria food truck on the other side of the border. That's all he came over for, and the guy's harassing him on a horse. Anyway, if Trump was in office, woo boy, they'd be whipping. They'd be saying, we whip people. Here we go. Let me get back up on here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Thank you, Baby Vaso, for another donation. I appreciate you sponsoring the show. Who says, I was watching Steven Crowder's compilation of the J6 scandal, and I was wondering to myself, when that black guy was justifying him shooting Ashley, and I wondered to myself, did they ever watch the exact guys who broke the first window? Where are they at? That is a good question. I don't know. But I'm trying to figure out what food truck this Haitian dude came from. Anyway, let me finish up with Canon Hotep here.
God damn.
That's what I said. Shit.
These niggas like they coming from the carryout and the police jumped out.
Yes, they. Okay. Okay. Canon Hotep, I must have been reading your mind because you said it looked like they came from the carryout. I'm saying it came from the barbecue joint on the corner. He did.
You letting all the Latinos and the Latinas come through, no testing or nothing. You're making all this room for all these Afghans. Again, no testing or nothing. But a couple Haitians coming across the border, oh, them niggas got to go.
And you know what? Honestly, I got to tell you, I can almost understand why. I can understand why the Haitians maybe needed some asylum from when, you know, the earthquake and the people killing their government and killing their president and shit. But I'm kind of in a place. By the way, they aren't sending all the Haitians back. I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, let's finish this up.
Wait, this shit's so silly. It's fucking fantastic, people. Anyway, it's Canon Hotep. I'll holla at you.
I have a theory on that, Canon Hotep. I have a theory. Okay. Think about this, people. One of the reasons did I say Afghans? I don't know what I said. I got a theory. Okay. So there was an earthquake in Haiti many years ago, and there was a foundation that raised a whole shit ton of money to help out the Haitians who are devastated by an earthquake. Lots of people died, lots of damage, and they I know at least they said like $300 million was for a hospital. They raised like $10 billion. A foundation raised $10 billion for Haiti. Now, that foundation seems, after raising all the money for Haiti, apparently didn't send a lot of that money to Haiti. Yes, someone's paying attention. It was the Clinton Foundation. Now, I am not sad. I'm telling you now, I am not sad. The Clinton Foundation raised a ton of money for Haiti, and then apparently that money didn't quite make it to Haiti. Now, it very well could have made it to some leader of Haiti who's decided to leave Haiti and live very lavishly, or it could have just been, well, I don't know what it could have been, but perhaps the reason they might be quick to send Haitians back to Haiti is because Haitians are not very fond of the people who raised all the money for Haiti, that the money didn't make it to Haiti, aka the Clintons, aka Democrats, and maybe, just maybe, they're concerned that it's might not be fond of Democrats. Who knows? Because I know that's why they don't like fucking with Cubans, right? Because the Cubans don't vote the way they want to. So I don't know. That's a weird theory. It's just an offhand theory. Just forget I said it. All right, let's get into the news because I'm already a half hour into this and I really haven't done anything. But thank you, Canon Hotep. Fantastic video as usual. I appreciate you. All right. So now let's talk about what's happening with these Haitians, because apparently the Biden administration is freeing Haitian migrants into the U.S. on a very large scale. According to a report, the Biden administration is reportedly releasing many migrants into the United States who illegally entered the country in Del Rio, Texas, casting doubt on prior reports that the administration was going to conduct wide-scale expulsions. Now, by the way, good morning, Sean King. Yeah, you're not the real Sean King, but I do appreciate you either way. Now, we were told that they were going to be, sent back and whatnot. And they need to shore up the border, and they're letting everybody in. They don't care. Good morning, Asian Research Directorate. Hello, Kay Shull. Haitians have been freed on a very large scale in recent days, according to one U.S. official who put the figure in the thousands. The Associated Press reported the official with direct knowledge of operations, who was not authorized to discuss the matter, Tuesday thus spoke on the condition of anonymity. The report noted that the latest development from Democratic President Joe Biden's border crisis is undercutting the Biden administration's public statements that the thousands in the camp faced immediate expulsion. The report said that many have been released into the U.S. with notices to appear at an immigration office within the next 2 months. Yes, you can stay as long as you promise to show up at an immigration office. Yeah, that's always been very effective. All right, real quick. Thank you, Baby Vazo, continuing to sponsor the show, saying from the Streamlabs donation. Thank you, sir. Speaking of Haiti, since their goddess Hillary Clinton loves that place so much, how about they give that country to the leaders of Black Lives Matter and send its sympathizers with them? Problem solved. We rid the something Americans and BLM can create their Black utopia. Well, they certainly could use the brain power, and I don't know. Anyway, so DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas tried to claim on Monday that the U.S. border was not open. Uh-oh, what happened? Well, that's weird. What the hell's going on here? Why is that not working? Okay, well, I just pressed the X to doubt, and hopefully that'll work later. He said the border's not open. If you come to the United States illegally, you will be returned. Your journey will not succeed, and you will be endangering your life and your family's life. Well, the AP noted that accounts of wide-scale releases, some observed at Del Rio bus station by Associated Press journalists, were at odds with statements a day earlier by America. So anyway, they're like, excuse me. I'm sorry, that's my COVID. Anyway, just kidding. I've already had it. Don't have it again. Anyway, they're letting these people back in. You can read the rest of the article. Speaking of which, speaking of bus stations, some Haitian migrants overtook a bus and escaped Border Patrol. Anyway, a group of Haitian migrants took over a Border Patrol transport bus traveling to Brownsville Monday afternoon. Officials said some of the migrants escaped from the bus after a fight broke out. A commercial bus contracted by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Protection transported a group of 29 migrants from the migrant camp in Del Rio as they approached the arrest area north of Javier Vega Junior Border Patrol checkpoint on U.S. Highway 77 in Kennedy County. A fight broke out amongst the migrants, Clayburgh County Sheriff Richard Kirkpatrick told Breitbart, Texas, in a phone interview. As Border Patrol agents struggled to regain control of the bus, a few of the migrants escaped and fled across the highway. Sheriff Kirkpatrick dispatched his deputies and Texas Department of Public Safety troopers to assist the agents in the neighboring county. When we get a call of an officer or agent being assaulted, we send everyone from multiple agencies to assist, Kirkpatrick said. The sheriff said that 24 of the 29 migrants were Haitians. It is not known at this time which migrants were involved in the fight. So I thought they took over the bus and stole the bus, but they actually just escaped. Now, I'm still confused. Okay, hello, Monk Pete. Hello. I said that. I am still confused. How the bloody hell did these Haitians get 11,000 Haitians get to where they could walk to Mexico and then walk across our border? Again, there's a big ass gulf and whatever, there's all kinds of water in between Haiti and the mainland North America, I still haven't figured this out. I want to know how 11,000 or 14,000, whatever the number is, tens of thousands or Haitians made it so that they could walk across the border in Del Rio, Texas. Who is facilitating this? I'm sorry, I just don't know. Meanwhile, Governor Abbott of Texas has called on Joe Biden to declare a federal emergency at the border to stem the overwhelming surge of illegal migrants. Let's see, and give Texas access to federal resources that can be used to stem the flood of illegal immigrants, because they're using their own resources right now to try to stem this. I'm surprised that the Biden administration or the Department of Justice hasn't got up in their grits about this. But anyway, Abbott sent a 5-page request to Biden as the immigration and humanitarian crisis in Del Rio, Texas continues. Thousands of illegal immigrants have flocked across the border, and many are being kept in a makeshift holding pen underneath the overpass. Abbott had already declared a state of emergency along the southern border. In his request, Abbott wrote in part, here's part of his request. Border security is a federal responsibility. Yes. However, in response to the current situation, I have taken the appropriate action under state law by directing the execution of the state's emergency management plan by declaring a state of a disaster on May 31st, 2021. That was in May that he had to do this. They're not doing their job. Hello, Renee Mayette. For multiple Texas counties across the state's southern border. I submit this request due to the overwhelming surge of individuals unlawfully attempting to cross the Texas-Mexico border in Valverde County. These illegal crossings are aided by a dam on federal property and thus under the jurisdiction of the federal government, which allows individuals to easily traverse the Rio Grande River. The rush of migrants increased from approximately, I'm getting Joe Biden lips right now, approximately 4,000 individuals on Wednesday, September 15, 2021, to over 16,000 migrants on Saturday, September 18, 2021. The entrance of illegal immigrants shows no signs of slowing. This surge poses life-threatening risk to residents of Valverde County and is quickly overrunning law enforcement and healthcare and humanitarian resources, which was never intended to be used in this capacity. Even the limited federal resources in the area are strained by the large number of individuals illegally crossing into Texas. Now, the other thing about this, too, I mean, there's reports of cholera, there's reports of the stupid 19. There's all kinds there's a measles outbreak in one of the camps. I mean, it's not good, and they need to get this under control, or at least get some federal, even to get health workers down there would be help. The federal government should be taking care of federal lands, and they're not doing it. Texas residents' properties are being destroyed. Crimes are occurring. Humans, deadly drugs, and illegal weapons are being smuggled into communities throughout the state. Law enforcement is having to redirect their resources, and county judges and mayors are facing skyrocketing expenses. While Texans face the brunt of these negative impacts, it's common knowledge that border-related drugs, weapons, and crimes impact local jurisdictions across the United States, Abbott wrote. He detailed the growing humanitarian crisis in Del Rio as thousands of illegal immigrants are held underneath an overpass with little access to other resources such as food and water, except for that food truck with those Haitian wits. I want to, I need to go check that out. Families, including infants and children, need food, water, medical supplies that the local government cannot supply. Thousands of families are immobilized in 100-degree heat as their numbers continue to swell as they wait to be processed by the approximately 64 federal agents in the area. 64 agents for 16,000 people. Imagine how long that process takes. Individuals are camping in squalid conditions and bathing in muddy river water, causing great health concerns, the governor said. The Biden... Oh, now this is... Okay, wait a minute. This is... listen to this. The Biden administration has attempted to stem the tide of illegal immigrants through public warnings that the border is closed. Oh, that'll do it. It's kind of like... what's in The Office, when what's the main character of The Office? Anyway, and he said he wants to declare bankruptcy, and he says, "I declare bankruptcy." Yeah, well, that's like how Mayorkas saying the border is closed works, right? Oh God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, you can finish that article later. Let's move on to something else because we're going to kind of try to get a lot of topics covered today. Oh, no, there is more. I'm sorry. Okay, I got several border things. I'm not done with this. As you know, as pointed out by Canon Hotep's video too, the media decided to have this little silly fake story about Border Patrol agents whipping Haitian migrants. Now, again, these guys are riding Western style. They have a split reins, and so as they ride, the reins fly around. I used to ride Western when I was a kid. My sister had horses, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but she did. In fact, she was the only when I was a kid. My sister was the only black rider in the Nebraska State Fair, and she got some blue ribbons with her horse. What was her horse's name? She had one named Moonshine, and what was the other one? She had two horses. What was the black horse's name though? I can't remember. Smokey. That was her black horse's name, Smokey. Anyway, but she used to ride Western, and she had split reins, so I know a lot about. I mean, I've watched a lot of equestrian stuff. Anyway, whip it. I said whip it. Yeah. Do. Someone who the other night brought that up. Oh, Uncle Hotep brought that up. Singing Devo. And this morning I had I had the song "Let It Whip" stuck in my head just based on this. I was thinking of making a meme video. Oh, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Who says, thank you for the bullet, dropping a bullet in the tip jar, who says, how many Fed are among the Haitian immigrants?
That's right.
I don't know. You'd spot a Fed a mile away. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, fake news, leftist liberal push narrative that Border Patrol agents whipped Haitian migrants. The best way to deflect attention away from a horrible Biden administration is to make up a narrative. The left is doing just that with photos of Border Patrol agents and Haitian migrants. The left says that Border Patrol agents on horses are whipping Haitian migrants, except I don't see whips. I see reins. Thanks a lot, El Paso Times. You would think you guys would know the difference between a whip and reins. Quote, a mounted U.S. Border Patrol agent shouted commands in a tense encounter with Haitian migrants wading through the Rio Grande River near Del Rio, Texas. As the Haitians tried to climb onto the U.S. side of the river Sunday afternoon, agents shouted, "Let's go! Get out now! Back to Mexico!" The agent swung his whip menacingly, charging his horse towards the men in the river who were trying to return to an encampment under the international bridge in Del Rio after buying food and water in Ciudad Acuna, Mexico. One migrant fell as he tried to dodge. Others shielded their heads with their hands. Okay, so... And then this tweet... Oh, this is El Paso. Haitian migrants face tough choices in Del Rio amid crackdown at Texas border. Before I show you the pictures and video, I want you to read these two tweets. It explains what's happening. Horse lessons for novices. The horse-mounted Border Patrol guys down in Del Rio are riding Western style, so they are using what's known as a split rein and to control the horse. It's where the reins are attached to the bit but aren't attached to each other. The reins are held in the rider's hands. They are usually long enough, perhaps, to perhaps appear whip-like, and occasionally a rider will use to spur the mount a bit. But reins are not whips. Border Patrol does not carry whips. Fiend or end or whatever. Sir Hack, the man in charge of Julian Castro's PAC, tweeted out these horrible photos. I don't see Twitter labeling them as misinformation. Hack it. Get it. Get some help from the loyal leftists in the media. Now, what really is killing me too, because as I'm watching this and I'm seeing these pictures, and yes, because the rain's down looking bad and he's grabbing the guy and saying you got to go back, blah blah blah. They're riding through the water. I was on Instagram yesterday, and I have some family members who feel the need to constantly put their political posts on Instagram instead of just cool pictures of their family or their places they're going or the food they're eating. And instead, I saw these pictures, and someone was saying, yes, they're whipping black people down in Texas. Disgraceful. Now, I get it. The picture, if you describe it, look, have you ever watched one of those videos where there's some unintelligible language, and you hear these words being said, right? And if you look at the words, they'll put 4 or 5 different sentences on the screen for you. And as you listen to that series of words, and you read one of the sentences, the words sound exactly what that sentence says, right? But if you go to the next sentence and you listen to the same words, the words sound exactly like that sentence says. And it's so on and so on. Then the next sentence, it sounds like that sentence. And if the next sentence, it sounds like that. But the words that you're listening to do not change at all. But you hear exactly what that sentence says. Are you following my analogy that I'm about to give you here? When you see a picture like this and they tell you that it's Border Patrol agents whipping Haitians, that's all you can see. It's subliminal. It's anyway, here's the video. Oh boy, look at them. They're whipping those Haitians so much. They got their whips out. Okay. So they're just they're kind of hurting them, so to speak. Okay. Well, I don't know what he's saying.
We're
but
having
anyway.
a hard time. Our family sends us money, but we can't eat. We have children, but don't have diapers. Look, now I have to cross to the Mexican side with wet money to be able to buy things for the child, and we have nothing.
Okay.
We're unable to eat.
Wait.
I need help with everything that's happening to us over there because there are a lot of children, and they're only removing the single parents, and the children are left alone. Just imagine.
Okay, here okay. Help me understand. Help me understand. If you're crossing over to the Mexican side and their family send you money and you can only buy food on the Mexican side, why not stay on the Mexican side where the food is? Anybody? Good morning, Avocados Diabli. The Devil's Advocates in the house. And hi, Renee Mayette. They're removing single parents. I don't know. I don't understand. As the Haitians tried to climb onto the U.S. side of the river Sunday afternoon, border agents shouted, "Let's go. Get out now. Back to Mexico." This is Yamiche Alcindor from formerly of PBS. She's one of the people who was pushing this. They're being whipped. And here it is. Let's go. Get out now. Back to Mexico. The agent swung his whip menacingly, charging his horse towards the men in the river. Pete Souza, this is inhumane. This is not America. Border Patrol, your president is no longer Donald Trump. Oh, an unnecessary reference to Donald Trump there, eh? Because guess what? Yeah, and again, this guy, Sawyer Haggett, Border Patrol is mounted on horseback, rounding up Haitian refugees with whips. So anyway, you can see what the heck's. Oh, let's hear what the press secretary has to say about this, because this is Biden. This right here. See this? This is Biden's America. Let's see what old Jen Psaki, as opposed to a warm cup of liquor, says about this.
Hey, Jen, a follow-up question on Haiti. There are photographs and reports of border agents on horseback using what appear to be whips.
Oh, did these hacks even decide to look at what the people were saying about this? They're still, see, again, the hacks want you to think it was whips, that they were whipping people. These border agents are whipping black people. They're whipping niggas. I usually don't say that word, but I did this time, didn't I?
Jen, a follow-up question on Haiti. There are photographs
God.
and reports of border agents on horseback using what appear to be whips.
My God.
On Haitian
And what? Listen to her
migrants.
answer,
Does
'cause
the
she's
administration
stupid.
view that as an appropriate
She gives a
tactic?
stupid
Can you speak
answer
to that?
here.
There are people who are upset about it.
Yeah, understandably so. I've seen some of the footage. I don't have the full context. I can't imagine what context would make that appropriate, but I don't have additional details.
Why don't you have the... Did nobody in the White House make a phone call? Did nobody had anybody? Did any? Oh my God! Watch me whip and watch me nay. Okay, Renee. Now that's stuck in my head. Oh my God. This is a dumb answer, Jen. I'm just telling you right now.
Details, and certainly I don't have additional context. April, I don't think anyone seeing that footage would think it was acceptable or appropriate.
Oh, you haven't seen the footage.
It said Saturday that federal agencies will be partnering with the Haitian government to provide assistance to the returnees. Can you elaborate on what that assistance will entail exactly?
You mean to
How
the
did they
people
get
who
here?
are-
How did they get here? They had to have assistance to get here. They didn't get here on their own. You don't get 11,000 Haitians walking across our border without somebody giving them help to get here. I want to know who helped them get here. There's people sending the money. Where are they sending the money to? Where are they going to pick up their money so they can walk back across the dam and go buy food over in Mexico? Walking over with Whopper boxes of food from the Mexican side. Who is helping them do this? This did not just happen organically. You don't walk from Haiti to the mainland North America. There is no possible way to do that. Somebody helped them get there. Nobody seems to be not one media source that I've seen on this has asked the question. Yeah, Western Union, where are they picking it up from Western Union? If they're in a, and how do they even know if they're, okay, Western Union. How do they know where to pick it up or when to pick it up? How do they know when they're getting sent money? Are they borrowing each other's cell phone? Who's charging their cell phones? How did they get here? Nobody wants to answer that question. How do Haitian migrants end up in Mexico walking across the Mexican-U.S. border? 11,000 to 16,000 of them in it. How? What's the rest of her answer?
Returning to Haiti, yes, we've been in close contact
We're returning them to
with
Haiti. Well,
the
we're
government
not.
about when people return.
No, Richard, we're not going to do that. That's not good either. That's not a good idea. Good morning, Annalyn. Good morning, Infamous One. Jamaican Sea Border. There is no Jamaican Sea Border.
What that looks like. Let me get you some more additional details about what that looks like when they get on the ground.
She has no idea.
Go ahead, Yamiche.
Thanks so much, Jen.
Okay, now this is Yamiche Alcindor, the woman who. Oh, it's April Ryan. They're all these people. Well, Yamiche is the one who wrote this bullshit. And April just asked that question, and then that's April Ryan. Remember April Ryan? Okay, let's see what Yamiche is gonna ask.
I want to follow up on the question about Haitians and it's specifically these photos that are surfacing on Border Patrol agents seemingly using whips. I know you said that there's no context that it would be seen as inappropriate, so the question really is, why would this be happening under the Biden administration? Is this going to stop? What would I wonder sort of what are going to be the consequences if what we're seeing is what we're seeing?
Yeah, it's not what you're seeing, but you sure want it to be what you're seeing. And this, oh my God.
Yamiche, it's all good questions. We just saw this footage. It's horrible to watch. I just have to get more information.
No, it's not. It really wasn't. Okay, if you watch the actual video, it's not horrible to watch. They're stopping people from coming across the border, which is their job. And they're not doing it in any inhumane way other than they've been hurting. Now the one guy, he grabbed his shirt, but there's no no one's being whipped. And that's, boy, my God, they should have gotten a clarification immediately. This is crazy.
Again, April, I don't have more information on it. I've also seen the video. I can't imagine what the scenario is where that would be appropriate. I'm certainly not suggesting that.
You've seen the video. Well, you must not have seen the video because there was no whipping going on. Okay, now he did swing the reins and hit his horse with it, but good God.
Earlier this morning.
A lot of Haitians were living in Chile, making a living there. Okay, I didn't know that part either. Anyway, and the Daily Beast. So this guy, he swung his reins in a circle, but he never hit this guy. We saw the video. He was not hit. Oh my God. Border Patrol, U.S. Border Patrol. Some early Border Patrol agents were members of the KKK and the Texas Rangers. Oh my God! Oh my God! Most of the Border Patrol people right now are Hispanic. I don't think they're members of the KKK. Former Border Patrol agent Bud Jen explains why she felt like a fucking Nazi on the job. Because they were protecting our border. Oh my God. U.S. Border Patrol on horseback charged Haitian asylum seekers Sunday. Asylum seekers? Asylum from what? Now, if you're right about them, Zombie Taser right about a lot of them were living in Chile, making a living there. What are they seeking asylum from Chile? If that's the case, what do you mean seeking asylum? Asylum from what? They weren't even living in Haiti, if that's the case. Former agent Bud Jen spoke to Dina earlier of this year about Border Patrol's brutal history of violence against migrants. Wow. Now, Julio Rosas, who's I think he's a Fox News guy anyway, from Border Patrol source, agents use their reins for a lot of reasons. Primarily, it's used to steer the horse, but agents also spin them sometimes to deter people from getting too close to the horse. We are not aware of anyone being struck with reins. And as you saw that video, the guy was spinning the reins, if that's to keep him from getting too close to the horse or getting too close to him, is what it is. But Vice News still says Border Patrol agents are whipping Haitian migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas. My God, this is crazy. Anyway, so they're not whipping them. Let's go. Let's get into some other news. Oh, this is another Border Patrol news. How many of these do I have? Okay, well, it's gonna segue into something else in a minute. But this one, I had another one here. Former Biden border chief makes bombshell accusation against the administration. Rodney Scott, a recently retired U.S. Border Patrol chief, made some stunning revelations in a letter to Democrat and Republican leaders in the Senate and the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. According to Scott's letter, which was obtained by justthenews.com, career experts have made many recommendations to slow the border crisis, but have been repeatedly rebuffed by the Biden administration. Oh, is anyone shocked by that? Is anybody shocked by that?
Come on, man.
Comment says border security recommendations from experienced career professionals are being ignored and stymied by inexperienced political appointees, Scott wrote in his letter earlier this month. The Biden administration's team at DHS is laser focused on expediting the flow of immigrants into the U.S. Note that I said expediting the flow into the U.S. and downplaying the significant vulnerability this creates for terrorists, narcotic smugglers, human traffickers, and even hostile nations to gain access to our homeland. Scott, a 29-year law enforcement officer, was originally appointed by President Trump. He retired last month. In my professional assessment, the U.S. Border Patrol is rapidly losing the situational awareness required to know who and what is entering our homeland, Scott warned before revealing that the Biden administration has not only been ignoring advice on how to mitigate the crisis, but is deliberately misleading Congress. Again, shocker. let's see, the experienced civil service staff within CBP, ICE, and DHS have provided multiple options to reduce the illegal entries and reestablish some semblance of border security through proven programs and consequences. Yet every recommendation has been summarily rejected. Scott wrote, Secretary Mayorkas is choosing to ignore the sound recommendations of government leadership despite his own admissions that he agrees with. Yeah, so there, okay. Here's the here, I'm going to put a poll up. Let's see. Are you shocked the Biden administration is ignoring border control recommendations? Are you shocked the Biden administration is ignoring border control recommendations? I'll leave that up for a few minutes. There's the poll for the morning. Let's see. How long before the press parades 100 Haitians claiming they were whipped by ICE? You know they're going to do it. You know they're going to do it anyway. Oh, gosh, these people piss me off. All right, let's go. Let's see what this one was. Jen Psaki's latest lie sums up Team Biden's upside-down approach to immigration and vaccines. Even for the Biden White House, Jen Psaki's latest whopper stands out. The press secretary actually said that the vast tide of migrants crossing the southern border is not intending to stay here for any lengthy period of time. Okay, we went through this yesterday, but it's hilarious. Most of them have traveled over 1,000 miles from south of Mexico, often enduring privation, violence, and even rape along the way to get to the United States. But it's not in hopes of a better life there. Right. They just pined for a short vacation in South Texas. Guess that's her explanation for why so many applicants for asylum never show up for their court dates. Vacay over, they just walked the 1,000 miles back home. Yeah, that's a funny thing. We talked about that the other day, but anyway. All right, let's move on. Now, in New York City, get a rope. Black Lives Matter says COVID vaccine mandate will not be another racist social distance practice. So we've been talking about these various vaccine mandates and COVID restrictions, and you can't go here and you can't go there if you don't have a shot, or if you're not wearing a mask, or you can't do this and do that. Well, the brothers and sisters from Black Lives Matter and black folks across the nation who have the lowest vaccination rates are kind of getting pissed off about this shit because, they're fucking up our style here. Hang on a second. Thank you, Baby Vaso, for another donation. Appreciate your sponsoring the show, who says, there were tons of bad faith actors in the Trump administration. Do you think Biden may be in the dark about stuff like this? There could be people lying to him. Well, maybe and maybe not. The bad faith actors in the Trump administration were the anti-Trumpers, which there were a lot of them. And I thought Trump should have cleaned house from the beginning. His thing with the whole drain the swamp thing didn't work out as well because I think he just trusted people too much. I think if he would have got a second term, I think the entire upper level of the FBI would have been gone. I think a lot of different department heads would have been gone. But anyway, as far as you think that, wait a minute. Do you think Biden may be in the dark about stuff like this? I think Joe Biden is in the dark about everything. I don't think he's leading. I don't think he's the acting president. He's the guy with the face that makes speeches and then walks away because he doesn't know the answers to all the questions because he doesn't know shit. Okay? I really just think he's there, and there's someone. Remember we've talked about that they thing? Who are they? The they people, who's telling him who to call on, who's telling him if he's allowed to take questions, who tells him well, I know I'm going to get in trouble if I take questions, but I'm going to answer just this one. And that's a question he can't answer and he walks away. I think people are lying to him or people just ain't telling him shit. There's a they that's actually running things. That's who. So I don't know if they're bad faith actors. They're just they. Anyway. Thank you, Baby Vaso. Again, I appreciate you very much for sponsoring the show. If you'd like to sponsor the show, Super Chat, Streamlabs, and other options down in the description down below. So there you go. The poll ends here. Yes, are you shocked the Biden administration is ignoring the border control recommendations? Okay, there you go. I'm going to just end the poll now. We got it. All right, thank you very much. Good morning, T-Ball. How you doing? Also, Brad Young, what's happening? The jab thing hasn't been a real big deal here. I live in rural Ohio where there are only 30,000-ish people in the whole county. There may not be many genius level people here, but we're not stupid. Okay, there you go. Here we go. Back to this article. Anyone with a brain cell saw this coming a mile away. New York City has a COVID vaccine mandate. Officials think it will encourage people to get the stab. How nice of them to reward or punish you based on you injecting something into your body. Yeah. Officials prove they don't research or emerge from their echo chamber because we all know a lot of black people are not stabbed. A simple Google search backs up that statement. The brothers and sisters do not trust the government. Well, we got one thing right? Of course, we got many. Anyway, we got a lot of things right. Black Lives Matter New York City and other organizations lashed out at New York City in front of Carmine's in the Upper West Side over the mandate. See, 3 black women from Texas showed their vaccine cards to get a seat at Carmine's. 2 men attempted to join them, but the hostess refused one since he did not have proof of the stab. An argument happened and the manager let the party outside as the women joined them, led the party outside as the women joined the men. Then a brawl broke out with the women attacking the hostess. Did you know that they were from Texas? The folks that got in that argument, everyone kind of went a little viral the other day, and people are like, "Oh my God, these people from Texas are attacking the hostess in New York City." And then when the video came out, and it was black people attacking the hostess from Texas, attacking the hostess, a lot of people shut up immediately because they thought it was going to be some yeehaw country boy wearing a cowboy hat and shit kicking boots. Oh no, it was some brothers and sisters. So a lot of the people who were talking about it immediately zipped it because, narrative and all. Anyway, the woman accused the hostess of using a racial slur. Oh. The hostess accused them of using fake vaccination cards. A fight broke out and the NYPD arrested the 3 women. BLM New York City and others held a cancel Carmine's protest outside of the restaurant. So now we're having some blue on blue crime. BLM NYC co-founder and chairman Hank Newsom alleged that the restaurant staff treated the black women with hostility and accused Carmine's of covering up their employees' actions by using the stab passport as an excuse. He demanded that Carmine's release its video footage of the incident, which he believes will settle that the hostess was the antagonizer and that the 3 women were wrongfully charged. Shivona Newsom and the other co-founder of BLM NYC targeted Mayor Bill de Blasio's vaccine mandate. More specifically, in her remarks, she implied that the edict has resulted in repeats of historical episodes when blacks were disenfranchised from society. Quote, being a doctor does not protect you from anti-blackness. Having a stab card does not protect you from discrimination. The 1964 Civil Rights Act prohibits the actions of Carmine's. It says it is illegal to discriminate against you on the basis of race. But wait a minute. They discriminated on the fact that 2 of your party didn't have stab cards. But either way, blue on blue crime. I love it. Hello, Fat Joe. Hello, Wikipedia snippet. 72% of black people in this city from ages 18 to 44 are unstabbed. So what is going to stop the Gestapo, I mean the NYPD, from rounding up black people, from snatching them off the train, off the bus? She added, oh, we got some spicy blue on blue crime going on here. Newsom warned if incidents like the one at Carmine's happen again and again, BLM would revolt. Well, I think BLM NYC needs to call up the Proud Boys and have a joint venture or something. Oh gosh, these. Oh, but okay, I got a question. I have a question, people. I thought it was those Trump Republicans who weren't getting vaccinated. I thought it was the do your own research Neanderthals who want to end democracy that were against getting the jab. Uh-oh, New York City is about to fuck around and find out, aren't they? Yes, I'm losing my mind. Hello, Oscar Munoz. How you doing, my brother? All right. Now, it's so funny. Newsom warned, let's see, we're putting the city on notice that your mandate will not be another racist socialist distance practice. Black people are not going to stand by, or you will see another uprising. And that is not a threat. That is a promise. The stab passport is not a free passport to racism. What's Bill Blasio going to do? Black Women's March co-founder Kimberly Bernard stated, "We are serving notice on the mayor, on the governor, on the restaurant industry that we will not allow you to use this pandemic, stab cards, and mask as another reason to be racist, to put us in prison, because there's enough of us in here." You know, the thing is, they're not doing that. But so now are we going to, okay, so I'm just curious. Yeah, they might revolt as opposed to what? Who's the bad guy in this battle? Because BLM is making it a race thing, but again, 72%. She said 72% of black people in this city are unstabbed, and mostly by choice, not because they can't do it. They don't trust the government, and yet, but they're making this a race thing. So are they going to have exceptions? I'm waiting for Bill de Blasio to come up with an exception for the melanated, those of us melanated peoples. Is he going to make an exception? Oh my God. A few people tried to blame Republicans, former President Donald Trump, and Fox News, etc. A woman named Maya told National Review her community has trouble realizing it's the Democrats who have led the charge over stabs and lockdowns. Most black people aren't going to acknowledge that the Democratic Party has disenfranchised us. Malcolm X said it's fox and wolves. The fox pretends to be your friend to your face, but passes laws behind your back to harm you. The wolf is not your friend. They don't like you, and they treat you as such. But who do you respect more? Black people tend to fall for the fox, Maya said. She said her job is in jeopardy now because she refused the stab. Another issue of economic equity that she says Democrats are not acknowledging. This stab mandate is disproportionately affecting people of color. I said that a long time ago. Hello, Uncle Bad Touch.
Come on, man.
I know who you are. And Brett Hayes. It's disproportionately affecting people of color. People shouldn't be forced to do it. It's for your health, but they're willing to ruin people's lives to protect against this virus with over a 99% survival rate. This is going to be the new Jim Crow, and it's going to affect mostly people of color. Oh, I love this woman. You go, girl. That's funny. So now they're out here protesting in front of Carmine's. They should be protesting in front of the mayor's office, because the mayor is, or the governor's office, one of the two. So anyway, if you want to watch some of these videos of the protest, it'll be in the in the article, in the link in the description down below the first paragraph, where I do a one-tab link to all the articles that we go through. All right, let's keep going here. Bombshell, Project Veritas strikes again as hospital staffer claims vaccine is full of shit. If you haven't seen the Project Veritas video, it's being blocked on Instagram. However, it is on both on Rumble, Telegram, Getter. You can find the video. Oh, it's still on YouTube too. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. I'm not going to play it today, but oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Baby Vaso. Another bullet, a big bullet this time. Says you don't have to answer this. Black Wall Street happened during a time of legitimate racial segregation. Blacks had high marital status as well. This forced black folks to be self-reliant. My question is, were blacks better off in the 20s to the 60s? In certain ways where we had our own businesses and, okay. I think opportunities to grow may be better now. And certainly from a legal standpoint, from certain areas of the country where, there are things you couldn't do. We were better off than that. Those laws suck. Fuck all that bullshit. Has the integration model, you're asking, has integration helped us or hurt us? I think in some ways it has hurt us because rather than still attempting to create our own spaces and create our own businesses that could be successful to all races, we spent a lot of time focusing on wanting to go into other people's businesses. And maybe some of us forgot that, hey, we can be that business too. And so, and I think over time, many have figured it out. Hey, you can be successful, with every. Certainly, musicians figured it out early on, where the music industry has always been not. I mean, I shouldn't say integrated, but at least the music itself integrated itself because people liked what they liked. And a lot of people liked a lot of the entertainment that was coming out of black communities and other communities, okay? But as far as I think just people got to realize that we cannot depend on anybody else for anything. You've got to find a way to build your own thing. And I think as far as communities, we need, that's what the Hotep is saying. If you follow the Hoteps at all, it's Hotep and build for your family, build for your community, build, and you can, and not only if you build something that your community likes, someone other communities can come and buy from you too. Okay, so that's kind of, Thomas Sowell claims it's better than black man in Harlem in the 40s for wages, good jobs, whatever. It may well be. I understand the argument. Let's put it that way. And it in some ways it makes sense. In some ways it's like, if people realize that it would have expanded opportunities to be able to, I'm not explaining this well, but I think you get my point, that the opportunities are way bigger now, but we did destroy some of our own things that were successful too by worrying about getting into somebody else's space. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. So anyway, this is, the Project Veritas talking about what's happening. If you haven't, just watch Project Veritas video talking about how they're not reporting the adverse effects to stabs, jabs, and Fauci juice. And they're dropping another video, I think tomorrow. They just put a thing up where they're putting another video up tomorrow. But the Project Veritas video is linked in this. How long is this? It's about it's about 13 minutes long. We're not going to watch it here because I'm running out of time. But check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Moving on. How far will COVID-19? This is a good question. How far will COVID-19 medical authoritarianism go before we say enough? Well, until they can transform it into the climate crisis. authoritarianism. The Federation of State Medical Boards recently issued a statement about how doctors must communicate with patients about stupid 19 vaccines. The FSMB is a nonprofit organization that represents the medical boards of the individual states and territories. The state boards license medical doctors, investigate complaints, and mete out disciplinary action. The statement is an astonishing bit of medical authoritarianism that should terrify patients expecting to receive informed consent and have an honest discussion with their doctors about stupid 19. Physicians who generate and spread stupid 19's stab misinformation or disinformation are risking disciplinary action by state medical boards, including the suspension or revocation of their medical licenses. Due to their specialized knowledge and training, licensed physicians possess a high degree of public trust and therefore have a powerful platform in society, whether they recognize it or not. They also have ethical and professional responsibility to practice medicine in the best interest of their patients and must share information that is factual, scientifically grounded, and consensus driven for the betterment of public health. Spreading inaccurate stupid 19 jab information contradicts that responsibility, threatens to further erode public trust in the medical profession, and put all patients at risk. So they are not going to allow certain facts to be communicated by doctors, and they're threatening discipline. Which facts? Supposed doctor listened to the discussion about boosters and heard Doran Fink, MD, Deputy Director of the Clinical Side of the FDA's Division of Vaccines and Related Products Applications, discuss the cardiac-related risk post-vaccination. When Dr. Arnold Monto, the acting committee chair, asked Fink if it was possible to determine at what age the side effects ceased to be a problem, Fink answered the following. If you look at the healthcare claims data, you see that there is evidence of some attributable risk at all age groups, although the older you get, the higher the risk of complications from stupid 19 that have offset the risk of myocarditis, he said. So when you look at the balances of risk versus benefit, what we really start to see is risk of myocarditis being higher than stupid 19 in males under the age of 40. Did you hear that? So younger people could have a higher risk from myocarditis than stupid 19. Fink also told the advisory committee that the risk of myocarditis was 1 in 5,000, according to medical claims data. Say a doctor is counseling a 24-year-old male with a healthy body weight and no pre-existing conditions. Understanding the current data, he tells his patient that the stab risk of cardiac side effects is more significant than risk related to stupid 19. Would he be putting his license at risk for misinformation? The physician would be quoting an FDA official, but deviating from the narrative that everyone must be stabbed. Oh my goodness. I'm in an argument right now on Twitter about this. Wow. And this will be my answer to the last stupid question this guy asked me. But again, so they're threatening people's license for not putting out consensus-driven information. You got to read the rest of this, but I don't have time. But it is very important. Thank you, Baby Vazo, for the deuce and another bullet. Sorry for derailing the stream so much, but I don't often get to watch the stream while at home. Thanks. You're not derailing the stream. Look, I talk about whatever comes up, and I appreciate you adding to the discussion, and I'm happy to answer that question and it, as it fit into what I was doing. So no problem. And that's, and you're sponsoring the show. You're the only one here sponsoring the show, and I'm going to help. And I appreciate you for doing that. And there are many others who sponsor. Oh, I forgot. Black Hebrew is late too. And there's a lot of you sponsor the show. There's a lot of you who retweet streams. There's a lot of you who do a lot of things for me. And I appreciate all of you, by the way. But yeah, you got to read this out. And this is, that's one I'm definitely going to go back to today. All right. Are we supposed to, here's a good one. Are we supposed to believe Dr. Fauci or the data collected on Stupid 19. Dr. Fauci tells some whoppers. I gotta tell you. Let me put this so it fits. Is this on the screen? Why does it seem like it's off? There we go. Let's try that. Dr. Anthony Fauci gave a lecture at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine on September 10th, 2021. The lecture took place shortly after the UK's Committee on Vaccination and Immunization decided not to recommend vaccinating children between the ages of 12 and 15 for Stupid 19 after a risk-benefit analysis. That sounds familiar. Oh, it was in the last article. Fauci's lecture was delivered shortly before the FDA's Vaccine and Related Biology Products Advisory Committee declined to recommend booster shots for all eligible Americans, citing similar concerns. During the lecture, Fauci discussed why he felt it was important to vaccinate children. Given what we know, it is some pretty astounding stuff, especially regarding the rates at which they transmit the disease and the risk of severe COVID-19 and death in children. Fauci referred to children as vehicles of the spread. There is no data to indicate that children transmit Stupid 19 to adults at greater rates than they did early in the pandemic. An early genetics study in Iceland found that transmission almost always went from adults to children. We should study whether Delta changes that pattern. We should not assume, in order to justify stabbing children, that didn't make sense. Jabbing children, I'll say, that because Delta is more transmissible, it has changed the pattern. We know that cases fell in schools in the UK during the Delta surge. Rates of transmission were lower in schools than in surrounding community, despite there being no masking requirements. No masking requirements? Wow! No masking requirements? You mean they had no mask and the incident still went down? Good Lord. No one knows why this was the case. It could be due to twice-a-week testing requirement, the overall seroprevalence due to asymptomatic infections in children earlier in the pandemic, or the lower transmission rates for children. We should probably find out. Fauci discussed hospitalizations among children in the Southeast during the Delta surge. He said, "We are almost overrun. We have a lot of children in hospitals now." Okay, what does a lot mean? So even though, relatively speaking, compared to an adult, they don't get as seriously ill, we have lost more children from SARS-CoV-2 than we have ever lost for influenza, and we vaccinate children against influenza? What? What? Knock, knock, Puddinhead. What? That is a lie. Let me find this article again. Where was I here? Oh, that ain't it. Here we go. Oh my God. It's hard to just, okay. You're going to have to just read all the rest of the articles on your own because this is where we're finishing. It's hard to decide where to begin. First, the Southeast was experiencing a surge in the Delta variant while it had an off-season spike in respiratory syncytial virus, RSV. According to the CDC, 58,000 children under the age of 5 were hospitalized with RSV annually, and the symptoms are very similar to Stupid 19. The CDC's Associated Hospital Surveillance Network collects age-specific hospitalization data for Stupid 19. Through September 11, 2021, the week with the highest number of hospitalizations for children under 18. During the Delta wave, 117 children in its networks were hospitalized with Stupid 19. The network includes Georgia, which Fauci cited specifically in his lecture. If pediatric beds were full, they were not filled with Stupid 19 positive children, even if all 117 were in Georgia. COVIDnet, which covers about 10% of the population, reported 3,984 hospitalizations of children under 18 with confirmed Stupid 19. If that number is relatively consistent nationwide, it is likely that fewer children under 18 have been hospitalized with Stupid 19 through the entire pandemic than are hospitalized every year with RSV in the 0 to 5 age group. We also know that compulsory testing of inpatients will pick up incidental cases where a child tests positive when admitted for something else. One study in California found this happened 40% of the time. Hello, legit low talker. According to the CDC, 448 children under 18 have died with Stupid 19 because of compulsory hospital testing. There is no way to tell if Stupid 19 caused a child's death. One assessment done by Marty Makari and his research team found that no children without severe pre-existing conditions like leukemia died with Stupid 19 between April and August 2020. Even if you assume every death recorded by the CD is solely due to Stupid 19, Kyle Lamb, a researcher for Florida Governor DeSantis' office, presides this analysis. Despite counting every pediatric death as one with Stupid 19, not necessarily from the weekly mortality rate for Stupid 19 per million in ages 0 to 17 is 46% lower than the average 10 previous estimated flu seasons. Disease burdens from flu and 79% lower than H1N1. So again, it's a low risk. It's low risk for children. Dumbasses. And as far as vaccinating children for the flu, the highest CDC estimate for vaccination is for those aged 0 to 4 who are often in the doctor's office receiving other inoculations. Lowest rate is for teens who have less frequent child visits. Rates also vary between states. Fewer than 50% of Americans over 18 received a flu vaccine last year. I've only had a flu vaccine twice in my life. How much longer is Dr. Fauci going to be allowed to make proclamations that contain confounding variables, data-free assumptions, and outright falsehoods with no pushback? Parents should be able to rely on verifiable and righteous data before deciding to give their children a vaccine against an illness they rarely become seriously ill with and rarely die from. Right now, we know how many white-tailed deer in the Northwest have COVID-19 antibodies, but we have no idea how many children under 18 do. Pfizer believes its vaccine is safe for children. It also thought it had the data to support a third shot for all eligible Americans. Fauci agreed. The FDA advisory committee disagreed. We are at the moment in the movie Jurassic Park where Jeff Goldblum's character said, "Your scientists are so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should." I just had to read that entire article because it's 100% where I'm standing right now. Okay, gang. Let me give you a synopsis of what I didn't get to, and you can check out the articles in the tab and the link down below in the description. By the way, the link goes into the description during the outro, and I will let you know when it's ready if you want to click on it then, or if you want to come back, it'll be in the description. It'll be just below the first paragraph of the description. What have we missed, though? So now Fauci is supporting this mandate for school children, as we mentioned. This is the Breitbart article. He also mentioned it on MSNBC. I am. It's funny because someone's asked me do you believe in mandates for school children? I'm like, not for this vaccine, no, because it's a low risk possibility, and they just don't understand that. Like, well, do you believe in mandates for other things? Yeah, because some of them are high risk things that you should get your kids vaccinated for. This particular disease, no. I think there's more risk in the side effects from the vaccine than there are from the actual disease for children. Now, that's based on data and what the FDA says and all kinds of things. But you know what? These people are all so indoctrinated. They're such freaking sheep that they don't even bother to pay attention. Anyway, also, Portland activists survey themselves and they conclude unwoke cops are to blame for their riots. Results of a survey taken after the Portland riots in 2020 and 2021 have just been tallied by a cop watch organization, and the conclusion is that the cops, not the actual rioters, protesters, rabid communists, and looters, are the reason they were so bad. Mayor Ted Wheeler says he'll treat the survey seriously, and the city council will consider adopting its suggestions. Fuck right off. These assholes they just want to come out and break shit, and they want to, oh my God, they're blaming the cops. Yeah, yes, the riots happened because of the cops. Yes, they're out there just, whatever. Biden also claimed we turned the page on Afghanistan in the speech we watched yesterday, which I had a couple of good laughs at and couldn't actually sit through the whole thing. But yeah, except there's still a bunch of Americans still there. You can read that one. Also, ISIS apparently bombed an eastern Afghanistan city, killing some Taliban fighters. So maybe, just maybe, those assholes can all fight each other, and we can maybe get some of our citizens back. Also, Selected Boy, take it easy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And apparently one of the refugees is plotting to bomb a Pittsburgh church. They caught them. If one of those famed white supremacist terrorists that Biden handlers keep telling us are the biggest terror threat in America today had been caught plotting to bomb a mosque, you can bet you would have heard about it. But the news Thursday that a Muslim named Mustafa Masab al-Awarmer pleaded guilty to a jihad to bomb a Pittsburgh church, the Legacy International Worship Center, got little notice. That's no surprise. The story doesn't fit the narrative of either Biden's handlers or the establishment media, which is that there's no significant jihad terror threat. And that much bigger problem is the Islamophobia of Trump's bloodthirsty MAGA legions. Back in the real world, the guilty plea is a small reminder of what the real threat really is. You can read that one. Also, we got... Is my mouse stopped working? There we go. Oh, if you want to read a little bit about these, we're going to get into this some tomorrow, but there's a very well laid out conspiracy charge. Kash Patel says Sussman links Clinton, Fusion GPS, and the Department of Justice. You know who Michael Sussman is, right? He's the guy who will be ending his own existence in a few weeks as the evidence comes out in his case that is gonna, well, it's against the Clintons, so you know what I'm saying. Hello, Thomas Cleaver. Kapow! Anyway, you can read about that. And let's see. Oh, and then this, apparently some Soros operative is the person that the Democrats tapped to research the Trump-Russia conspiracy. This Daniel Jones guy investigated claims at the center of Special Counsel John Durham's investigation. Well, he's a Soros guy, just so you know, isn't that special? We didn't get to that. Also, Chicago Mayor Lightfoot budget includes $1.9 billion with a B for police due to rising violence. They're increasing the budget for the Chicago Police Department. Wow. So, all the defund the police stuff that they were talking about and reimagining the police and yada, yada, yada. Now, they did add $3.4 million for an oversight board for the department. The mayor wants to provide more resources to officers suffering from traumatic experiences while on duty. Wait, that's not the type of oversight the people wanted that are demanding. Okay, well, so anyway, she is raising the budget of the Chicago police. Good for her. She is doing something to help Americans. Democrats agree, criticizing our behavior is racist, sexist, and homophobic. This might be video worthy. Democratic politicians have repeatedly argued that criticizing a Democrat's behavior isn't normal. A kind-hearted normal person wouldn't do that. Their critics, by definition, are exclusively composed of racists, sexists, homophobes, xenophobes, white supremacists, and other bigots. The journalists who reported these criticisms are just as evil. Democrats agree. So when you criticize Kamala Harris or AOC or Jabapal, whatever her name is, that had a birthday party unmasked with all the people at her party were unmasked. If you criticize them, you're a racist, sexist, homophobe, anti-Semite, and Islamophobe. If you haven't heard about Bill Gates' interview about Jeffrey Epstein, go watch the replay of Ranting Monkey's story this morning. But this woman on PBS asked some very interesting questions. We'll listen to one.
Was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings
Judy
with
Woodruff.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yes.
Who, when you met him
Yes,
10
you
years
did.
ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors.
So in other words, Bill Gates met him after he got convicted of soliciting prostitution for minors. Interesting. After, not before, after.
What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing...
Look how hard he's thinking. He ain't looking. He's like thinking really hard. How am I going to answer this shit? Thank you, Thomas Cleaver, who says, kapow! Back at you. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring the show with a bullet. Appreciate you. This guy, okay, so he doesn't really want to answer this question, you can tell, but here, listen to this.
Between that, he had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what.
Wait, they were a mistake, but you kept meeting with him over several years. What are you talking about?
He purported, and I cut them off. That goes back
several years later.
Time ago now. There's
a long time ago.
This
is a long time ago.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years.
Yes. Way to go, Judy.
And that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well,
it took you several years to go figure out his background. First of all, that's interesting.
And I've said I regretted having those dinners. And there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.
All right, what's the over and under and how long Judy Woodruff either loses her job or is found in a ditch somewhere? I don't know. Bill Gates has got a lot of money. Anyway, oh boy. I think that entire interview's online, and it is awkward as hell. So you got to check that out. But I'll leave this. This will be in the links today. Also, my last three, I'm just going to tell you what they are. One, is Trump more popular than Biden now? Well, obviously Biden's approval rating is in the shitter, and he might be. 48% to 48% have a positive view of Trump. At 40, let's see. Yeah. Anyway, their approval ratings are very comparable, and Trump's might be slightly higher right now. Anyway, and then let's see, as the Biden presidency loses, sorry, I'll get this centered. As Biden presidency crumbles, Democrats in Congress are beginning to lose hope. Oh, darn! I'm so sad that they're losing hope over on the Democrat side. It's just awful that they're losing hope. And boy, I tell you what. Of course, the Democrats are already saying that, well, we're going to lose seats because of gerrymandering and redistricting, and the Republicans are going to be cheating. So I wonder if you're going to be allowed to question the election if Democrats lose the House and the Senate by large margins. I'm just curious. And then let's see, but the Democratic Party is not going away. We'll get to that one later. And the last one in the list is White House aides shut down U.S. press corps when British Prime Minister suggests taking questions at a Biden meeting. Whoa, wait a minute. They didn't take questions after the U.S. President and Boris Johnson met? They did not? What? Let's see. They discussed this. However, here it is. Here it is. They wanted the press. Here's what happened. CBS News and O'Keefe report that during President Biden's bilateral meeting with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, U.S. press questions about the southern border were shouted down by White House aides. The president's answer was undecipherable. So they try. Well, let's see. They tried to ask him a question. Here's this. He's trying to answer the question, and his
All right,
aides
you've been listening to President
shouting him
Biden
down.
along with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson there in the Oval Office just a short time ago.
And this talking head just acts like nothing is wrong. That his aides are not allowing the President of the United States in the Oval Office answer questions to the press that are gathered there. That is insanity. That's insanity. Let's see what this lady says.
Back on to just provide a bit more context. What we heard there was officials taking the questions of 3 British reporters. We heard Boris Johnson there call on some reporters towards the end. Our Ed O'Keefe, who is there in the Oval Office, was there acting as pool, reports that in that moment at the very end that we just heard there, he attempted to ask a question of President Biden about the southern border. He says in his tweet, White House aides shouted down U.S. attempts to ask questions. He asked the president about the southern border. You could not decipher what it was that the president said, but obviously that is a situation that continues to unfold as we've been reporting.
Okay. He's the president of the United States. He should be telling his aides to shut the fuck up. I'm answering this question. But he doesn't have the capacity. He does not have the capacity. What is this down here? Boris Johnson answered questions in White House. Then the room explodes as aides try to usher U.S. press out of the room to shield U.S. President Joe Biden from answering a single one. The entire U.S. press pool then apparently went to Jen Psaki's office to register a formal complaint. Good!
Unbalances the Belfast Good Friday Accord. That's the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. That's the.
Look, he looks. Who's running the show? I asked that question the other day. Who is running the show? Certainly isn't Joe Biden. Anyway, gang, I got to go. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't done it already, hit the like button before you go. Share the stream. And if you follow me on social media, at PDawgKnight, retweet, repost, whatever. I'm trying to do that experiment, and it ain't going well, unfortunately. But I was always curious if people would do it. But also, if you haven't followed Canon Hotep, check him out. And then, I don't know what else to say. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for, and also thank you, Thomas Cleaver, Black Hebrew Israelite, and our superstar donor of the day, Baby Vaso, for sponsoring the show today. You are all greatly appreciated, and everyone who shares and likes and does all that stuff. If you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section to let me know you were here. It's time for me to go. Thanks again. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thanks for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.